8 to win. Or a 2K9. No, wait, no, that's not possible. Okay. Yeah, you know what I fucking mean. I didn't make the obsession noise in the lobby. Okay. Oh, because I have somebody else's screen share on. That. Okay, no more echo. Sorry about that. Alright. Baboon going directly to Shack. Obviously, Survivor's going to spawn the furthest possible point away. Baboon already finding somebody. There's nothing out in this edge map. And the Survivor is just going to go toward Shack. I believe this is M. So... Oh, actually catching somebody out here, too. Not able to be getting that. Who didn't know how to tech. The weird pseudo V1 tech is in the game, though. So that could be helpful. Might come in handy. Brutal coming into play. Brutal, perk I was expecting to be used a little more. Not being used as much. And that very nice hit, just not really using Blight's rush as, like, you know, a tool to really outplay the loop, but more of a tool to gain that distance, which is really how Blight should be playing now. Ooh, nice flick. Very, very nice shoulder flick right there. Nothing crazy, but just like little things like that could pile up and really help this game be won. It's gonna be already the first hook. I just put a Q instead of a 1. My bad, G. This gen are. And that's an awesome bug. Yeah. Dude, like, how does a hotfix cause more bugs? Like, okay. This palette actually gonna be a little stronger against Blight now. The Sin cars are gonna be a little bit more difficult for Blight moving forward. Without that hug tech, will be rather difficult. And this main building does open. Very nice dodge from Pedro. There's a rush right back to that unhook. You can only assume that Mark has that deliverance. Be a nice tag, but unfortunately, either eating the DH or eating the, I believe, base kit BT. Baboon not going to be able to immediately get that hit, but will get it now. Dying on the pallet, though. And Pedro's here, potentially for either a firecracker save or for that pallet save. Slow vaulting that could be saving a life or something like that. Ooh, nice use of the bump there to make sure the time doesn't run out, but is not going to be able to be getting this down. And Pedro just going to stay here while these other two survivors are probably just cranking gens out. And Pedro was forced to just drop that pallet. Either unbreakable or the quick pickup. He's going to be the down onto Pedro. Only 3 gens left for Baboon, so it might be a little difficult. W was spotted trying to go rotate back on his very high progress gen, but it might actually be better that it was not tapped, as now the pop did not come into play. Baboon seeing the crows down here. He's just going to start looking around. Did see some crows fly off, but he's actually just going to go back to that reset. Another nice thing about the Blight change is that you can now tell exactly how long your rush is. It doesn't really affect the best Blight players, but it does help with Blight players who maybe aren't as good, or Blight players who just have so many things to focus on, so many like game sense things they gotta worry about. And so it's nice to be able to visually see that, especially with some add-ons being able to alter how the, you know, how the killer feels, such as speed or rush duration, things like that. Very nice down though on the Croche. Will be another fresh hook. Or no, sorry. On another hook. My bad. Falcons and now having 3 sages. Gonna be a very quick tag though onto Pedro. I can only assume that maybe Baboon was aiming to hit Karush to get rid of that base kit endurance, but actually Pedro was a survivor with Dead Hard. And now Baboon's kind of forced to leave this chase unless the chase is going to be extended by quite a bit. Breaking this main building door. Main building door, very, very strong one. This is one of the better main buildings in the game. So it's going to be very difficult to commit to a chase here, especially with the 2 pallets. Baboon not being able to really get anything here without that hug tech being in play. That hug tech being removed removes so many possibilities that Blight did have to outplay certain tiles. There's going to be the body block from Pedro, trying to prevent this death down to Krosh as much as possible. If Krosh dies here, it could be rather difficult. There are 4 gens popped for Eclipse, with the 5th one most likely being worked on now. Boone has to kind of try and think about which survivor to pick up here. Pedro probably recovered by now, as the 4th survivor did come in for that pickup. Now Baboon has to try and defend these gens. Did get a kill though before all gens are popped, so there is still most certainly a possibility of getting this win. Pedro playing this filler palette edge map will be able to get that stun. Very nice. It's certainly an exit lag moment. At least I believe so. Trying to crouch check there, but unfortunately just a little too close of an angle, I would say. And there's the rehook coming onto Pedro. Pedro is a survivor with Decisive Strike and Dead Hard, so it will be very difficult if Baboon goes for this full tunnel out. Baboon able to get that hit. And a trade coming through from Mark, who probably has that deliverance that we have not seen yet. The chase onto Pedro is committed to. That will be a decisive and a Dead Hard. Baboon, knowing that Pedro has Dead Hard, probably not going to chase that, especially considering that he is the Obsession. This gen does have a lot of progress, though. Gets popped. The deliverance not actually coming out. Could just be a normal save. Has to prevent that broken status. The very nice decisive from Pedro is going to buy a lot of time, considering that that was 5 rushes as well. Baboon's forced to just walk back to this gen. And catches out the Carlos. Mark is found. The triple vault. Ooh, unfortunately not able to get that tag. Just too steep of an angle. W just makes it all the way to Shaq. We'll be able to get the tag though. But not before a vault. That could be life. Or even overcome. I believe both of those are allowed in a set. Get the nice down. Not really able to do too much on that hill. Catches Pedro working on his gen. He's going to go for the slug play. Could backfire, but not a bad play at all. Ooh, Pedro able to get that stun. Won't buy too much time with that brutal and then only using the 2 rushes, but still buys time nonetheless. Maybe for that pickup to come through. Baboon kicking his gen, definitely wants to defend it. Defending it so much that even without eruption or pop is just going to get that dry kick on it. Very nice last second swing right before the fatigue. Baboon knows where pretty much every survivor is, but is not able to capitalize on it. Catches Carlos. We're just going to hold that check spot very nicely, but we'll probably not be able to get another rotation able to use the gen to buy just a little more time. Pops the locker to force the pickup. Very nice play using the gen. Baboon's gonna be able to get that basement hook. Be very, very, very bad for these survivors now. But they still do have one fresh hook, being the Meg W. But finds Pedro out here in this corner after getting the pickup. Gonna be the quick down. But Baboon cannot have the Meg get out, as that would be the loss. Baboon's gonna slug this, try and look for the Meg. But if a save is being went for and Pedro does get up, Baboon knows that if the Meg goes for the save, that's gonna be a pretty quick down, but Pedro kind of zoned in this area, only having that little window tile. And these gens are so low progress now. Very, very crazy flick. Could be a little bit of desync from this dog shit update. This desync is back. Very unfortunately. And that's gonna be the death on a Pedro, and yeah, these survivors know. It's just kind of over. Scratch marks are seen. Going for the pickup, but will not be able to get that. Yeah, these survivors are just ready to move on to the next set. But that is going to be the win for the set for Falcons. Take it with a 4K1.